Welcome to the Man Up God's Way podcast, a show that dives into the real, raw, and relevant issues for men and their faith, life, and community. Now, your host, Jody Berkeen.
Folks, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Wanted to bring you a special guest here today. We have Kirk Cameron with us today. Kirk, how are you doing today, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Man, I'm so glad you're here. Really excited to get to talk to you. I've been watching your walk for quite some time, and it's been really blessing just to watch you go from, what you've been doing into a Christian movement that has just everything from homeschooling to our founding fathers to the end of times, and now to this area that we're going to talk about here today with your new movie called Lifemark. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the new movie that you've got coming out, or that's already been out, I should say.
Yeah, but you're right. It is coming out on home video, and you can watch it on PureFlix. It's called Lifemark, and it's a great movie. It's based on a true story of an 18-year-old girl who found herself pregnant. She goes to an abortion clinic, and at the very last moment changes her mind. She rolls off of the clinic table and decides to choose adoption for her son. And super tough, difficult decision, but she feels it's the right thing to do, and then believes that she'll probably never see him again. But 19 years later, her son reaches out to connect with her, and she thinks he probably hates her for the decision she made. But he meets her and says to her that he is so grateful that she chose what she did, and that he loves his family and his life, and that she is his hero. It's a fantastic movie. It's filled with heart and humor, lots of action, and it made a big impact in the theaters this summer. And now it's out on PureFlix just in time for Thanksgiving Day weekend.
Wow. I tell you what, it really pulled my heartstrings because my wife and I have 4 adopted children, and 2 of them are 21 and 20 years old. And we have very much the same story that this movie portrays. And we also have twin 11-year-olds as well that were all adopted. And I just have a really big heart for what you did with this movie, because not only is it imperative that Christians really look differently at what's going on in the world, especially with the new movement that went on in Supreme Court this past summer with the Roe versus Wade. The church really needs to step up and do some stuff along with this movie. I mean, what you're trying to tell everybody here is so true. And if more and more Christians would step up and do through the foster care system, the adoption systems, we could get rid of abortion altogether.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jody. And sometimes people they look for ways to influence others in the right direction, and they think, I don't really like to argue with people. I don't really want to get political with people. Well, a great way to open up a conversation and really have an impact is to show somebody a movie. Some people felt that way with like the movie Fireproof, right? Or maybe the movie War Room. Well, the same guys that made those movies are the same guys that made Lifemark. And this isn't an argument or a political movie. It's a true story about what happened when a girl chose the adoption option. It turned out to be something that really made her heart feel good. It saved a little baby's life who turned into an amazing young man, and it answered the prayers of this couple who were not able to have children. And so the adoption option is something a lot of people don't think about. They're just stuck between pro-life and pro-choice and arguing. But when adoption comes in as the loving choice, man, it is beautiful. And I know because I've got 4 adopted children myself, and I know the power of adoption. And everything in the movie really happened. I play the adoptive dad. I got to meet the real Jimmy Scotton, and everything from the skydiving to the cliff jumping to the knife throwing, the brain injury that he has, to all of the funny stuff with the buddies. All of that stuff is true. And we're really excited that Rotten Tomatoes gave the movie a 97% audience score, and we got 100% from the critics. So
Oh, praise
it's a great
God.
movie this Thanksgiving Day weekend. Go check out Lifemark. It's on PureFlix.
Praise God. So people can get it up on PureFlix, and
Yeah.
it
Then of
comes
course
out
it's out on DVD and Blu-ray after.
awesome. Oh, great. Well, highly suggest that people go see that as soon as they possibly, or get it as soon as they possibly can, and get PureFlix as well. So what do you have coming down the pipeline? You got anything new coming up? I know, man, you're all over the place, but
Well,
I appreciate all that you do.
so the documentary called The Homeschool Awakening, which
All right.
is documenting this incredible movement of parents who are putting faith and freedom back into the education of their children, comes out. It's actually out on DVD now. You can watch that, rent that. I have something I do in my backyard called the American Campfire Revival, and that was really born out of the pandemic lockdowns that were caused by our governor and the first 100 days of the Biden administration. I thought, as the family of faith, we need to have our own first 100 days.
Right.
And we need to have our own executive orders from heaven that tell us what to do to return our country back to its biblical foundations and the principles that lead to blessing and protection, or our kids aren't going to have a country left anymore. So that's something that I do on Facebook and Instagram. It's actually out as a podcast now too, called the American Campfire Revival. And I host a weekly talk show called Takeaways on the
Great.
TBN network.
Well, congratulations, man. I've been following you for quite some time. I watch the fireside chats. I love those. We shared those on our social media platform as well. And as a homeschooler, I can't wait to see the new documentary. That's going to be good.
Yeah. I hope you like it. And I hope you get a chance to see Lifemark, everybody. And man up, dads, moms, kids. This is the time that heroes are needed. So we need to step up and man up.
Amen. Well, brother, thank you so much. I know that you're a busy man. We won't keep it long. I pray for you and pray for your family. Thank you for stepping out in front of a lot of us doing this. And you've got an amazing ministry and an amazing following. Keep it up and stay strong, brother.
Thanks, Jody. God bless you.
All right, brother. God bless, man. Take it easy.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
I've always wondered if my biological parents think about me.
Is that your birth mom?
She wants to meet.
Are you okay with people knowing that you're adopted?
Yes. Mostly. Not really.
Do you remember asking to see that when you were about 8 years old?
How old were they?
I think she was 18, and he was 17.
I honestly had no idea that this many people were wanting to adopt.
Imagine how scared she must have been. She was pregnant when she graduated, and then the decision to place you for adoption.
God, if you're there, please protect him and watch over him.
There's a birth mother on the line with a question for you. It must have been the hardest decision of her entire life.
Hello?
But she loved you, and I'm so glad that she made the choice that she did.
I've always wondered if my biological parents think about me.
Today's David's 18th birthday.
You want to talk to him?
I don't think he'd want to talk to me.
There's only one way to find out.
I guess maybe I didn't want to feel different.
You didn't want to be an idiot.
I didn't want to be different.
Okay, good. That's a lot better.
God gave you to me and Mom as a gift, and you will always be our son.
Is that your birth mom?
She wants to meet.
Really?
Yeah.
This is huge!
been listening to the Man Up God's Way podcast. Visit us on Facebook, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and our website at manupgodsway.org.